last weekend I was experimenting with different mediums, different liquid mixtures to see what I could get with the Pluto trigger water drop system. After doing that, of course, I had to clean out the reservoir, the tube. So I've done what I've done quite a few times before and took it apart. Cleaned it out as normal, no problem. But when putting it back together, the brass connecting rod from the reservoir to the trigger broke. I can't blame anybody. No one's to blame for this. From the look of it, it's been going for quite a while. I mean, there's a nice black residue line all the way across. So it's been going for, as I say, quite a while. The only thing that was holding it was the sealant tape I've used instead of the gunk that the Pluto manufacturers use to hold it together. And as I said, the tape itself was actually just holding it together. As soon as I cleaned it off to put a new one on, it fell apart in my hand. Of course, this part was still attached to the reservoir. Now, that was the hard part, getting that out. What they use is some sort of gunk sealant when they make these. I really wish they wouldn't. I'd wish they used a sealant tape, so if we want to clean them out, which we need to from time to time, it makes it so much easier. To get this out, you need a 22mm spanner. You need to hold this somehow very firm so you've got two hands free, because it takes two hands and a lot of turning to get that to come undone. So I held this in position like that, two hands on the valve, just gently turned it until the gunk gave way. Then of course had to give it a bit of a clean out on the inside and get a replacement connector. Pluto triggers, they gave me an answer quite quickly saying I need to get a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch reductor or reducer. This is the one I got eventually. Had to order them online. I couldn't get it locally because they told me it would be cheaper locally. I agree, normally it would be cheaper locally, but with the pandemic a lot of places have closed. It cost about £6 with postage. Now, first time I got it, I've ordered 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. What they sent was a 3/4 to a 1/2. Don't know why, but I won't ask again. Eventually I got it, nearly a week later, and the measurements, as I said, Pluto told me 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch reducer. The 1/2 inch to 1/4 is the internal fittings. Well, I measured them and checked them all online first. If you're measuring them, that's 1 inch, and that's 1/2 inch. So slight difference, but remember it's a 1/2 to 1/4 on the internal you need. If you're going in millimetres, that will be, good again, about 22, 23 maybe, to, let's say, 13mm. Now, got my replacement part, it's all cleaned, inside the tube's clean. Now I just need to stick it back together and keep it sealed. To do that, I have some plumber sealant tape. Now, the best way to do this is to remember which way it screws off. Now, if this is turning that way round, or I should say that way round, I wrap the tape that way round. So when the end is facing that way, when I screw it back on, it doesn't push back against itself. Like this. I don't know if there's the right number of ways of wrapping it round. I prefer to do it twice. Let it overlap a little bit, break it off. Of course, just remember you need to keep this end clear. You want water to flow through it. So finger tight, just taking the 22mm spanner again, just so it's firm. Don't need to over tighten it. That should be a good seal. You do the same now with the reservoir to the trigger, remembering which way it unscrews. There we go, so this time I'm unscrewing that way round, so I wrap the tape that way round. It's always fiddly. Now, to keep the end clean of any debris, you don't want it getting into the trigger, and just screw it back in. What you can do is take the 22mm spanner, hold the trigger, just give it a firm turn. And that's it. One repaired, cleaned trigger.